Hello and welcome to SANPoint Institute Belagavi. This is Priyanka. So in today's video, we will be discussing the best 20 questions with respect to the subject environmental studies. And you should be already aware that the questions from this particular subject, that is environmental studies, can be asked even in general studies also, in GK as well as current affairs part of general studies. So the main purpose of making this video is to make you feel and understand the type of the questions which you can expect in this subject. So from this, I want to give you one very important tip for the preparation. So before the start of the preparation for any of the competitive exams, you can take GATE, IES, SSJE, RRB or any of our state KPSC exams. The first thing what we have to do is we have to collect the syllabus for that particular exam. And after that, we have to collect at least 2 or 3 question papers with respect to that syllabus. So go through all the questions of all the subjects. Then only you will get to know or you will get the feel ki what kind of questions can be expected from that individual subject. Because what usually happens is student will take the syllabus, student will take some study materials and they will start preparing. Okay, but when you see the questions from various exams, that time you will not be able to answer any of the questions. ಇದನ್ನು ಓದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಾನು ಇದು ಯಾವ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗಿತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಕೈತೆ ಆ ಟೈಮ್ದಾಗ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ is practically impossible. You can do revision, but you cannot again start making the notes. So that is the reason what you have to do is go through all the question papers, try understanding what is the depth of the questions which you can expect for the kind of the exam you are preparing, and then you start with your preparation. So because of this purpose only, because what is happening in this environmental studies subject is students are saying that ma'am, we are not able to find the content of this subject in any of the books. So don't worry about that. We have referred more than 2 to 3 books for making the video lectures of this particular subject, and I have only taught an entire syllabus is completed and uploaded in our package. And this is why I am discussing 20 questions of this subject, so that you will get to know, like even if you have prepared on your own or any of the classes you have joined, whatever it is, you will get some idea that yes, whatever the way I have prepared, yes, I am in the right direction. And one more thing I want to share, that we have added more than 100 questions in this subject in our SANPoint test series also. So I feel that those 100 questions and whatever 20-30 questions I will be discussing in YouTube, those will be more than sufficient to answer any kind of questions from this particular subject in any of the exams. So before starting the discussion of these questions, I want to tell you that don't see the answers. I will be reading out question first, pause the video, try answering. So ಎಷ್ಟು correct answers ಬರ್ತಾವು out of 20 ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೀವು ಗೊತ್ತು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋರಿ, because that only will help you to analyze yourself. And if possible, you can leave how much marks you have scored even in comment section also. So let's try answering these 20 questions. So let's read the first question, that is, what is the theme of World Earth Day of the year 2022? Okay, so this is GK question also, so you should be knowing the answer already. So what are the options? Invest in our planet, restore our earth, climate action, protect our species. So in answer, it is option A, that is invest in our planet. So let's understand some information about this. Okay, so year theme, that is World 2022, invest in our planet atitu. What is the meaning of this? It is calling for the business to shift towards the sustainable practices. See, whatever the corporates are there, whatever the businesses are there, they should try shifting to the sustainable practice which are eco-friendly and doesn't harm the environment. And these are the long-term practices also, that is sustainable. So this Earth Day is celebrated every year on April 22nd. Even you should remember this date, because even this can be asked even in your GS also. So what is the main purpose of celebrating this World Earth Day every year? So it gives us the reminder to protect the environment, restore the damaged ecosystems, and to live a more sustainable life. So this is the main purpose of celebrating the World Earth Day. Okay, so this year lot of you have put the status of save soil. So April 22nd ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ನೀವು ಸೇವ್ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಂತ status ಹಾಕಿದ್ರಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗ. So that is the initiation which is taken by the Isha Foundation by Sadhguru, because in this chapter you have studied how the topsoil or the fertile soil is very important, and because of disturbing the ecosystem and all, how the topsoil is losing its value, or how it is flowing away, or how it is getting wasted. So that is the reason save soil ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನ ಪ್ರಮೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಈ ಇಯರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅರ್ತ್ ಡೇ ಒಳಗೆ even lot of colleges also celebrated this day. Okay, so hope you have understood the meaning of this. So ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನಿತ್ತು this year. So from this what you have to understand is make a table of at least around 10 to 15 years theme with respect to world earth day. Okay, so last year ಏನಿತ್ತು 2021 ಒಳಗ mostly restore our earth ಅನ್ನೋದಿತ್ತು. So same way previous ಏನಿತ್ತು climate action, protect our species. So ಯಾವ್ದಾವ್ದು ಇಯರ್ದಾಗ ಏನೇನ್ ಥೀಮ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು you make the list and remember that list. Okay, so now let's read the next question, that is the protocol which decided to completely phase out CFCs. So CFCs ಅಂದ್ರೆ chlorofluorocarbons. So ಯಾವ protocol ಒಳಗ ಆಯ್ತು? protocol ಅಂದ್ರೆ international treaty. So if you read the options, that is Cartagena Protocol, Stockholm Convention, Montreal Protocol, Kyoto Protocol. So what is the answer here? It is option C, that is Montreal Protocol. So Montreal, it is a place in Canada actually. So Montreal Protocol on substance that deplete the ozone layer is a global agreement to protect the Earth's ozone layer by phasing out the chemicals that deplete it. So main purpose ಏನಿತ್ತು Montreal Protocol to protect the ozone layer. That's it. Okay, so how this ozone layer can be protected? By reducing the chlorofluorocarbons which are emitted into the atmosphere. So what was the main purpose of this Cartagena Protocol? It was because of the biosafety or biological diversity. Stockholm Convention ಏನಿತ್ತು? It was mainly targeted on the pollution. So Kyoto Protocol, it was mostly targeted on the climate change. Okay, so from this question what you have to understand is, so try listing all the conventions, all the protocols, and what are the main purposes of those protocols and when it was launched. So let's read the next question. The upright pyramid of numbers is absent in lake, pond, grassland, forest. So here the correct answer is option D, that is forest. So upright pyramid in ecosystem ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲ್ತಿರಿ. So this is upright pyramid. So in lakes, pond, grassland, so the pyramid is in this shape only. But if you see the forest, so it is the combination of upright as well as inverted. So let's see here. Okay, so if you see the first one, that is this type of pyramid. So let me erase this. So if you see A1, that is the grassland ecosystem and pond ecosystem will be of this one. So grassland ಅಂದ್ರೆ first ಹುಲ್ಲು ಇರ್ತಾವು, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದೊಡ್ಡ animals ಇರ್ತಾವು, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ you will find secondary consumers, above that you will find the tertiary consumers. So when you see the pond ecosystem, so very small aquatic animals will be there, plants and animals. So adarkita bigger, adarkita bigger, adarkita bigger. And when you see D1, that is parasite ecosystem. So parasite ಅಂದ್ರೆ which grows or which depends on the others. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟಿ ಹುಳುಗಳು ಇರ್ತಾವೆ, they are the tertiary consumers. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ secondary consumers, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕಮ್ಮಿ herbivorous, and next comes the tree here. But when you see the forest ecosystem here, so you can see one tree is there. So on that one tree there can be many birds. Okay, and again there can be these animals which depend on these birds or which eats these birds. So adar mele idu. So that is the reason this is the combination of both upright as well as the inverted type of the ecosystem. So that's why it is called as the spindle shape. So try understanding, because I have to give you the explanation of why this is the correct answer. So now let's read the next question. So which of the ecological pyramid is always upright? So ಯಾವಾಗಾದ್ರೂ ಇದು ecological pyramid upright ಇರಬೇಕು. So you had studied already, there are different types of pyramids which are designed based on the biomass, based on the energy, based on the numbers. So if you see here, the correct answer is option B, that is pyramid of energy. So if you see here, biomass andrena, you should be knowing the meaning is organic matter. So it can be even upright as well as it can be even inverted also. And if you see with respect to the pyramid of numbers, it can be combination of both upright as well as inverted. So in the previous forest you had studied. So ತೆಳಗ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡದು ಗಿಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ birds ಇರ್ತಾವ. So it can be in the other way also. But when we see about the energy, it is always upright. Upright is a sharp edge or apex will come on the top. So this is called as inverted. So if you see here, this diagram will give you the explanation that why the pyramid of energy is upright always. So if you see, there are a lot of primary producers. This is consumed by primary consumers, again secondary consumers. So as we go to the top level, the energy starts reducing. Whichever the type of ecosystem you take, the energy will start reducing, because lot of energy is lost in the form of the heat, as well as lot of energy also gets decomposed. So that's why remember, pyramid of energy is always upright. So let's read the next question. Which of the following can act as a pioneer species in Xerac succession? So here the options are lichens, humans, herbs and animals. So if you see, the correct answer is option A, that is lichens. So let's understand the explanation of this. So first let's understand the meaning. Pioneer species are an important species. So what is the meaning of the term Xerac succession? So idra ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು even video class ಒಳಗೂ explain ಮಾಡಿದ್ನಿ. So how the forest will start growing. First there will be very much bare rock here. So after that lichens will start growing. So lichens andre a fungus you can see. So which is having symbiotic activity. Okay, so green color ಪಾಚಿ ಬೆಳೆದೈತಲ್ಲ, so ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ lichens ಬೆಳೆದು break ಆಗ start ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. Again some part of the soil is formed. Again the soil increases. So as the depth of the soil or the quantity of the soil keep increasing, the vegetation also keeps increasing. So here the meaning of the term zero is dry. So dry idintra heng greener side ಹೋಗ್ತಿವು, and for that what is important? So this part, that is lichens, is very important. Then only the conversion happens, or else it will not happen. Okay. So next question. Common indicator organism of water pollution is. So ಈಗ ಒಂದು ವಾಟರ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗೈತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವಾಟರ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಸಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ water is polluted. So if Entomoeba histolica is present, or if lamina is present, or if Acornia is present, or if Escherichia coli is present. So idrole yavadu present ittandre we say that the water is polluted. Yes, so the correct answer is Escherichia coli. So you should have heard the term of E. coli bacteria even in environmental engineering also. Actually this lives in the intestine of the human beings, and the presence of more quantity of this Escherichia coli represents the water to be polluted with the fecal matter. Okay na? So here the correct indicator of water pollution is E. coli bacteria. Next question. Bhopal gas tragedy of 1984 was caused by the leakage of which particular gas? So methylisocyanate or Dichlorophenoxyacetic acid, ammonia or hydrogen cyanide. So leakage of ಯಾವ್ದು particular gas ಇಂದ್ರ Bhopal gas tragedy ಆಯ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗ. So it is option A, that is methylisocyanate. Okay, so on the night of 2nd December 1984, a gas leak at Union Carbide Indian Limited pesticide plant in Bhopal led to the deaths of about 4,000 people and adversely affected the health of the lakhs of people. So 2nd December 1984 ಒಳಗ so Bhopal gas tragedy ಆಗಿತ್ತು. So you should have studied about this already. So ಆ time ದಾಗ this particular gas methylisocyanate leak ಆಗಿತ್ತು, because this gas is very toxic chemical and it is extremely dangerous to human health. And this is a pesticide plant where this was the main ingredient or raw material for the manufacture of the pesticide. So next question. Which of the ISO 14000 series of standards focuses on evaluation of environment performance? So idrolaga yavdaiti anodu. So if you read, this is the correct option. Okay, so you might have studied about the various series of this ISO with respect to the last chapter of this subject, that is environmental management standards. So this is one of the difficult chapter in this entire subject. So ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮೆಮರಿ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರು, ಯಾವ ISO ಒಳಗೆ ಏನ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅನ್ನೋದು. So that you have to remember. Okay, the main difference between primary air pollutant and secondary air pollutant is, Okay, so very simple aitu. Even you have studied in environmental engineering air pollution. So primary and secondary air pollutant andrena, the former are released directly into the atmosphere. That is, the primary air pollutant are directly released in the atmosphere, while the latter andrena next iddiddu. That is, the secondary air pollutant is formed by the chemical reactions in the atmosphere. So because of the combination of these primary pollutants in the atmosphere in the presence of sunlight and water, the chemical reactions happens and that leads to the formation of the secondary pollutants like acid rain as well as ozone. So very simple question. So that is the reason I didn't read out the options. Next question. The atmospheric greenhouse effect is produced mainly due to. So greenhouse effect, that is the increase in the temperature of the earth. So yadardintra ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. So if you read the options, the correct option is option C, that is absorption and emission of infrared radiation by the atmosphere. So all these radiations are the electromagnetic radiations which are having different wavelengths and which are emitted by the sun. Okay, and the main purpose of this infrared radiation, or it is also the synonym of the term heat wave. So that is the reason, because of the absorption and re-emission of this infrared radiation, greenhouse effects happens on the surface of the earth. So let's read the next question. How many biogeographical zones are there in India? So nam country olaga different biogeographical zones anna divide ಮಾಡ್ಯಾರು. So what are they and all? See, if you have studied this subject, then you can answer these questions very easily. But if you haven't studied, I feel you find all the questions very much new and very much different. So 2, 4, 7, 10. So the correct option is 10. That is, there are 10 different biogeographical zones. So nam country valaga, based on the type of the flora and fauna, they have classified the biogeographical zones. Even it includes the similar climatical condition also. So if first one is trans-Himalayan region. Okay, Ilyos Bharati, here also it is. Second one is Himalayan zone. This part and this part. Third one is Indian desert zone. Fourth one is semi-arid region. Fifth one is Western Ghats. Sixth one is Deccan Plateau. Seventh one is Gangetic Plain, Ganga River Hardaitili. Eighth one is northeastern region, this part as well as this part also. Ninth one, coastal region. 10th one, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Okay, so either your desert at so here the rainfall, the climatical conditions, the type of the plants, the type of animals remains same here. But when we see here, they are different. So considering those similar characteristics of a particular region, the different biogeographical zones have been classified and there are 10 zones. So remember this. Next question. The Air Act was enacted in dash and amended in dash. So the Air Prevention and Control Act ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು rule pass ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. Okay, by the Central Pollution Control Board. So this we have studied again in the last chapter, that is Environment Management Standards. So was enacted andra yavaga it came into existence. So that happened in the year 1981. Let me mark here. Okay. And it was amended, that is some modification madidru in the year 1987. So the same way there is for water as well as sound. So try remembering them. What is not the benefit of ISO 14001-2015? So again all these are accreditations only. So either the yaud benefit illa annudu, not a benefit. Okay, so you should read all these kind of terms very much properly in the exam. So not kelaru or the benefit of kelaru, that you have to understand first. First option, improve resource efficiency. Option 2, reduce waste. Option 3, drive down costs. Option 4, product design. So this option, that is, this is not in the benefit of the ISO 14001. So ISO full form you should be knowing, that is International Organization for Standardization, and this particular standardization is for an effective environmental management systems. So the main purpose of this particular certification or the standard is to clarify the best practices for organizations that wish to reduce their environmental footprint by adopting an effective environmental management system. So again last chapter ಒಳಗೆ ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು. So different methods of the environment management systems, and if we go with this particular plan or the standards, then that particular organization or will cause very less impact on the environment. Next, who proposed the term ecosystem? Gotirbeku. So it is A.G.Tansley, and E.P. Odom is known as the father of modern ecology. So try remembering this also. So ecosystem ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೊದಲೇ explain ಮಾಡೇನಿ. So you can watch all the lectures which we have uploaded in our YouTube channel, and more number of lectures, that is more than 90% what are available in the YouTube channel of this particular environment studies playlist are available in the portal. Next question, what is an industrial symbiosis? So most of you might be hearing the term for the first time. Let's read the options here. When industry's cooperative sector produced a product by one of them is part of a larger product produced by the other. Option B, when industries cooperate by integrating environmental work so that a common environmental management system is established. Option C, when industries cooperate so that the waste of one serve as the input in the production of the others, as for example heat. Next, option D, when industries operate without any chemical pollution. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು confusion ಆಗೈತಿಗ, like you are not able to give the correct answer. But here if you had known the meaning of the term symbiosis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಇರತ್ತಿ, ಬರ್ಡ್ ಬಂದ ಆ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಒಳಗಿಂದ ಹುಳ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಿಂತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ದ symbiotic relationship. So both of them are dependent. So ನೀವು ಆ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ then without understanding all this or without even knowing this entire subject, you could have answered this answer very much directly. That is when both the industries work hand in hand, and when the waste of one will be utilized by the other industry, then that is called as the industrial symbiosis. So when industries cooperate so that the waste of one serve as the input in the production of the others, as for example heat. Or I can give you one simple example also. ಈಗ ಶುಗರ್ ಕೇನ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಒಳಗ ರಾ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಕೇನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರಿಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಶುಗರ್ ಕೇನ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸು as well as sugar as well as the waste product molasses is formed, and this molasses and waste sugar cane juice can be used in the manufacture of the biofuel which is called as ethanol. So one the industry is the waste to ಇನ್ನೊಂದು industry is a resource akati. So this particular relation is called as the symbiotic relation between the industries. But once other industries linear system antivu, linear system anna they use the natural resources or the raw materials, and the products and wastes are generated. So the products are consumed by the human beings and waste gets released in the atmosphere without being utilized further. But here symbiotic olaga both of them will work hand in hand. This is the meaning of the term industrial symbiosis. Next question is on match the following. So again the act whatever I told earlier, so in which year these acts were particularly launched. So that is what is the match the following. So hence you have to understand all these acts and try understanding the purpose of them and when they were launched. So if you see here, the correct option is option B. Okay, so you can just mark and you can try remembering the years. Next question is ISO 14001 gives stress on. So yaudakka idu importance kodati, whether it gives stress on plan do check act or on environmental protection or prevention rather than detection or prevent pollution. So yaudatra mel aiti. So it is on plan do check act. So even this question is from the last chapter, that is environmental management standards. So first they will plan, that is they will have the objectives and all. After that they will implement. After that they will cross check with whatever they have implemented is right or wrong, and they will make the changes accordingly and they will act, and this cycle keeps continuing. So for this even I had given the example of the student when I was teaching this particular chapter. So ನೀವು ಯಾವ್ದಾರ exam prepare ಆಗಬೇಕಂತಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ first you will take the syllabus, you will see previous year's questions, you will collect the materials, you will plan. After that you will start studying here. After that you will give the tests. So based on what errors you are committing, you will make some strategy changes in your preparation, and again this keeps continuing. So this is called an plan do check act, and this is given for any of the organization by this ISO to work efficiently. So next question, which of the following is true about the Water Act 1974? So illella certain characteristics of this act is given. So if we read here, then option D is right. That is, all options are right. So Water Act prohibits any person from knowingly causing or permitting the entry of any poisonous or noxious or polluting matter directly or indirectly into any system or well or sewer or on land. Second point is, the Water Act establishes the Central Pollution Control Board at national level and State Pollution Control Board at the state level and Pollution Control Committee at the state or the union territory level to carry out the objectives of this Water Act. And the third point is, the function of the CPCB, that is Central Pollution Control Board, is to plan and execute a nationwide program for the prevention, control and abatement of water pollution. Abatement is reduction of the water pollution. So here all 3 points are right and they come under the Water Act of the year 1974. So next question, which of the following is an extinct species? Extinct species andrena, e particular prani athwa pakshi, whatever it is there, so it is not alive now, avu available illa. Those are called as extinct species. So even this can be asked in general studies paper also. So the options are dugong, great Indian bustard, dodo, red panda. So here the correct option is option C, that is dodo. So e bird. So you nimaga sigudiliga earth mela. So completely they are extinct and they were endemic to the island of the Mauritius. So Mauritius ಒಳಗಿದ್ವು ಇವು endemic ಅಂದ್ರೇನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ವು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. That is what is the meaning of the term endemic. Now what is dugong? So it is a type of the dolphin. So which is this great Indian bustard? It is a bird which lives in Thar desert. Then red panda is an Himalayan animal, very small red color panda kind of the animal is there. So ivu moorunu, they are also at the verge of the extinction and they are available very few, that is finger countable, less than 100 numbers. You other three are also there and they might become extinct if they are not maintained within 5 to 10 years. And the last question here is, Public Liability Insurance Act of the year 1991 provide for damages to victims of an accident which occurs as a result of what? So option A, handling hazardous substance, natural disaster, road accidents, loss of the properties due to communal rights. So idralaga Public Liability Insurance Act annodu yavudakka consider agtೈತಿ. So it is for the handling hazardous substance. So ಈಗ ಒಂದು industry ಒಳಗದು, if any some mishappening happens and if it gets blasted, something like that, if there are any casualty or fatality, they will get the financial assistance through this insurance scheme launched by the government. Okay, so these were the 20 questions which I wanted to discuss for this particular subject, and if possible we will come up with few more questions in our next class. Study well, all the very best.